a first live we've done here in a little while. So I'll give a few minutes for people to show up, and then we will reveal our first ball python clutch of the year. More and more gray showing up. I'm getting old a bitch. Um, Here's the thing. It's going to be a little different this time. Hopefully, if people do show up. You'll nurse minus a zero, which doesn't surprise me because YouTube pretty well quit promoting us and kind of hates our guts, and I don't know. It's can't ever get a call back from them. It's because it's a platform that's probably kind of dying. Let's be honest. Uh, Sorry, YouTube. Your platform's probably dying. How we doing? And yes, since we have somebody with the name Venom on there, we did show a picture of our Rhino Viper for the thumbnail. However, this won't be about the Rhino Viper. It just is out looking good, so I used it for a thumbnail. What this will be about is our first ball python clutch of the year, which is actually clutch number 3, and that was because for some reason I numbered 121 last year. Maybe it didn't shed till after 21 started. I don't know. And we had the carpet clutch, which we've already updated, so this will be the first ball python clutch of the year. See how that works? 3. Um, we did not do a live egg cutting, and that was going on from the UK. Probably sounds like what the hell if you've been following us for a long time, because we always do live egg cuttings, and something we said we would consistently do in order to be very transparent. That hasn't changed. However, the format has changed. We'll probably be doing a lot of our live cuttings, if not all of them, over on Instagram, just to help grow the Instagram up. So if you don't follow us there, you need to. Uh, I'll tell you why Anna's tired in a few minutes. We all just got back from our first ever Patreon meet and greet. But I'll get to that really briefly. So the reason we didn't do a live actual egg cutting this time was because when these eggs pipped, I was on vacation. So I was traveling. I wasn't here. Kurt handled the pipping. They all hatched on their own. They all hatched perfectly okay. I mean, so that's all good news. And so then we thought, you know what? We'll just show them after they shed. Well, I just got back like literally 15 minutes ago. Man, we got people from UK, Belfast, all over the place. That is pretty awesome today. And they all have shed out. So today we're going to be revealing the first clutch as it's shed out, still in its hatchling, or like its shed tub, before I prep cages and set them up later on today or tomorrow. So, ready to do it. That's what we're going to do. When we go over to Patreon from here, we'll probably talk a little bit with those that couldn't make it and with those that did about the first ever Patreon meet and greet. I want to say annual, but we haven't said it as annual yet. We'll be doing things like that on a fairly consistent basis, but probably not always at the same place. We had a blast. We all went to the Omaha Zoo together, had some meals together, drank a few adult beverages together, got to know each other in the physical world, not just in the online world. I got to see other people's faces. I'm just seeing mine. I had a wonderful time. So, let's talk about babies, though. That's what you guys are here for. You're not here to hear me ramble. I'm here to talk about babies. This clutch was a Scaleless Head clutch. So we used our Lemon Blast Scaleless Head male, and it was paired to our Bumblebee females. And house produced Bumblebee is a very, very healthy one. And this was a repeat pairing from last year because she didn't lay eggs last year. So she had laid the year before, didn't last year with the move, and then did this year, and everything came out wonderful. So that's what we're going to be showing you today. So Bumblebee to a Lemon Blast Scaleless Head, and we'll start pulling babies out. Odds, I think, we did good in some ways, not so good in some ways. It all just depends. But I do believe everything has shed out, so we should know more of what we've got going on right now. So the first little baby I'll show you. Whoa, 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 whoa. I know you're scared, you're nervous. It's okay, little one. Is that, I might flip this camera around and actually stand up. That might be the easier way to do this. Whoa, too far. Let's see if I can't. Trying to find a good way to display the babies. Well, let's do it that way. That'll work. So this is the first one. Now this appears to me to be a spinner. As you can see from the head, I do not believe this to be Scaleless Head at all. Looks like just a really nice spinner. And believe it or not, guys, this is the first spinner I've ever produced. We've had a few on sale before that were produced from Alex. We did his collection, but I'd actually never made a spinner. And all the spider stuff I've done, I made up for it in this clutch, I'll be honest, but there it is. You can see how the lines are broken in the back. Like, it's really light, single scale lines. That's pretty indicative of a spinner. So I will take this one and I'll set it hopefully over here. Well, maybe I can already see how this is going to go. Come here. Ah! When you don't do it this way very often, it kind of throws you for a loop, so I'll have to find a spot to stick these guys. Now this one would appear to be just a normal, but if we can see, there you go, a very, very, very expressed scaleless head. So you can see that big patch of missing scales right there on the nose and right up there on the head. This is definitely scaleless head. It doesn't get any more evident than that for a scaleless head. So this is what you want in your scaleless heads. No doubt about it. I got an idea. Give me 1 second here. What we'll do is after we show them, I'm just going to stick them in a bag for temporary purposes. That should keep them contained. Let's go on to the next one. If you guys have any comments, I can actually see the comments right now the way I've got this, so I can answer any questions you might have. Now this is a really nice snake here. But what I think we have here is just, again, a really, really, I don't think this is killer bee because the head is, see how the head has, thick lines on it? Usually it's going to be a lot more washed out. This is just going to be a really, really, really nice bumblebee. So I'm really digging it. Of course, I always love making bees. There's not a lot of money in these anymore, but just super, super nice. And the head does not appear to be scaleless head to me right now. So I think we just have a very nice bumblebee. Like, that's what you're looking for. It doesn't get any better than that. And thank you, Charms Slinky. The Charm Slinky. It's a good name. Now, I told you, I made up for the spinner stuff, right? Well, here's another one. So here is spinner number 2. And also, as you can see, well, that one, interestingly enough, I don't think will prove to be scaleless head, but it does have a little patch of like almost micro, so I need to keep an eye on that and see what's going on with it. But definitely a spinner. So anyway, just another spinner again, spider pastel, or not spider pastel, Smolby, spider and pinstripe combo. And as you can see, it's, these things do wonderful. I mean, they're fresh out the eggs, about 7 days, just had their shed, and it's doing great. I don't know. I've only sexed one of these so far because I just haven't messed with them, but there's one that I'm saving for last that I'll show you. That is what I consider to be the best of the bunch. And I sexed it to see if it was going to be a keeper. Our next one here. And again, you can see what we are not hitting. We're not hitting a lot of scaleless head. I've only showed one. I'm like, yep, scaleless head. This is a lemon blast. I believe it to be just lemon blast. I don't think it's a killer blast or anything like that. But really, really nice. And you can see definitely just lemon blast. Really cool looking snake. I like this snake. Wish it was scaleless head too, but it's not. So it is what it is. And legendary feeder, I will get to that, but give me just a few minutes and I'll show you why I'll talk about that. We've talked about that at length. So if you've ever followed us, you'll hear me talk about that a lot. And I agree, Cassie, that is a pretty one. Now here is what I consider to be the keeper of the clutch, most likely. So there is one that will, and it is blackhead, but it makes it look almost like a normal. So here what we have is what I believe to be a killer spinner, and yes, this one is going to be scaleless head. A really nice expression. It's hard to see on the camera because of the light head. Doesn't pick up. That's all skin right there. Like the whole face of it is scales removed. You can see how much lighter color this is than the other one. And I do believe this to be a killer spinner scaleless head. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the one I sexed. I do believe it to be female. Even though I probably don't need more spider because I have a lot of spider. I'm not trying to, it does limit you in some things. I will probably put this in my back pocket because it's just so damn cool. When I do have a male, I can use it because I have the father does not contain spider. My other male scaleless head has champagne, so I could not use my other holdback male I kept from a year ago with this. It'd have to go back to the father because champagne, spider, again, no. But we can make some really cool scaleless stuff with this, I do think. So let me put this one back in here. And as you can see, all the babies, and that was a baby for every egg if you're keeping score at home, came out nice and healthy. Ugh. So that is the main thing. And these are pretty good sized babies. I mean, Here's all but one of them in my hand, right? Yeah, spider and champagne will cause you some major, major issues like dead babies. So I would definitely recommend against doing that. So let me have a seat here. And then I want to address the question we had about, because it looks like it was a question from, I don't remember the name, but it sounds like it was from a different country using like Denmark. So when it comes to breeding spider, do spiders wobble? Yeah, they wobble. You know, and I won't stay on this very long, so I've gone on this topic 1,000 times. I know a lot of people fall asleep are probably tired of me talking about it, but they do wobble. There is a wobble there, but there is nothing to suggest it causes the animal any pain or issues. All my spiders are fed live. They'll eat on their own, with the exception of one, and that was because I picked him up and he was already on frozen thawed, so he gets pre-killed. That's the only one. The rest of them, man, they eat live. What's boring? You know, and I get some people freak out about the wobble, and you'll find videos of like wobble, 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 wobble. But they're all the same people. They're showing the same four snakes, like just shown over and over again that are terrible. I can show you snakes or in the past that are not spider that wobble that bad, and I will tell you that the wobble, well, it's linked to the gene. It's linked to several other genes. That's why you have so many combos that you can't pair together because it heightens it, and that's what causes your dead babies. But in of itself, they do fine. You do need to keep them lower stressed. You want to make sure and not overheat them. That can accentuate it. Care is important with the spider, just like it is with any ball python, but they're going to be okay. You need to know what wobble is. You need to know what you're looking at, and it's not always a roller coaster loop-to-loop shit show that you'll find on other people's videos. They do those videos for the shock value, because they know if they show the snake that's completely foobarred, it's all twisting and turning and like can't exist and can't do this, and they know that's going to generate views. That's why they do it. I'm telling you, man, there are people out there who would rather have a bad snake for that purpose and fearmonger than truly understand what's going on. There are. You know, just like there are people out there on the other side of the fence who would try to deny it even exist, you know, because they're afraid it's going to hurt a single sale, which these don't even sell for a lot of money. Spiders are not very valuable animals. They've been around forever. There's not a lot of monetary value in them. So anyway, there you go. But yes, spider to champagne, those are all lethal. Spider to spot nose, we'll talk about that with some head cryptic. I would be very, very careful with spider to spot nose. I mean, I have seen where it can increase wobble issues. Spot nose has a tick as well. So putting those two together, while it is not going to instantly cause death necessarily, it can cause some issues. So be very careful with that. Not as bad as spider champagne, spider to walnut, etc. Spider to banana or coral glow, perfectly fine. Go for it. Makes beautiful babies. But if you're going to breed spider, one thing I'll tell you is you need to do some research. Do it from my stuff. Do it from other people's stuff too, on exactly what wobble is, and that will help you a lot in your endeavors. And then too, when you have customers and you're selling a spider to show or whatever, talk to them about wobble. Tell them what you know. Make sure they understand what they're buying, and they're not, because otherwise what's going to happen, dude, is they're going to go home, they're going to be excited, they're going to pull up YouTube, and they're going to find one of those videos of a spider that's completely messed up because it has been cared for probably like shit, or it's one of the 1 in 1,000 or so that is that bad. Because there are a few, man. There are. You have to be okay with that. I mean, if you're going to breed them. But I can tell you I produced hundreds of spiders, never had one like that. Never happened, right? So, you know, just, yeah. And they always start with, oh, well, this snake was a rescue. Okay, it was a rescue because it was in shit conditions. Even if they're not the person who's doing it, that kept it in shit conditions, they don't know the conditions it came from. So to blame all of its problems on, well, it's spider, that's bullshit. 100% bullshit. And I'll just call it like it is. It just is. But we weren't supposed to be on the spider topic too. I know we're going to get out if I show some spiders, and we'll hatch more spiders. I still breed them. They still sell well, but we're very open with what they are, which I think one should be. But before I hop up off of here, I want to see if you have any questions about the babies. And did everybody understand? We're going to start moving a lot of the live egg cuttings when we do them. We couldn't just because I was on vacation, and then they came out on the Patreon thing. And Ashley, I probably will not stop cursing. It's my channel. I'll say shit if I want. So that's just how it works. Sorry, if you don't like cursing, you're probably on the wrong channel. If you can deal with it, then here. And if you're on a channel with cursing and you're a kid, then hopefully your parents know what you're watching, because it's not my job to not curse. That's my freedom of expression, and I will use it as much as I damn well please. So there you are. Obviously, that doesn't mean you got to say what I say, nor should you follow my example in life because I ain't your role model. I mean, you don't. I hope I'm not because you don't even know me. So your parents should fill that notch for you, or grandparents, or brother or sister, or somebody else. And thank you, LaBelle. I do have my rant. I felt like Charles Barkley there, as an old comment from a long time ago. You know, Charles Barkley is a basketball player back in the day, said, "I am not a role model." In some ways in life, I get to be in some things, but not in that. And two ball pythons is awesome. Are you planning on breeding them? And if you are, then we can certainly help you with that. But you'll hear a few swear words along the way. And if you're on YouTube, like I say, if it's something you shouldn't be watching, if your parents want you to hear that language, then you might have to like find something a little more language friendly. Like my good buddy Barchek, I don't think he ever says a swear word on camera. I do, kind of like Eminem. Will Smith doesn't have to cuss in his rap or his records to sell raps or whatever. I do. I don't have to. It's just I do. All right. So, anything else? Any questions on Spider or these ball pythons or this clutch? And understand, if you don't follow us on Instagram, do, because I will start doing a lot of these on Instagram, not so many on YouTube. We're going to try to feed that beast as well to grow that because I have sucked at it. Right. There you go. Me too, Charm Slinky. I got the truck driving sale. I've worked for so many years, and it's actually better than it used to be because I work in the daytime now. I used to work midnights. Oh my goodness, it was horrible. It's horrible. Now it's a part of my language, but it's not like the main part. For a while, it was main part, and I see it getting better and better and better as I move from career to career. And there may come a point where you really don't hear me swear on camera, but it won't be from a conscious effort. Like it'll just be from as that moves further out of my language for whatever it is I'm doing for a professional job, right? So look to the Scaleless project. So that is a great question. And and again, if you guys know me at all, and then I'll get to the Scaleless one, and then my wife texts me and said lunch is ready and I'm starving, so I'll have to hop off of here, go to lunch, after lunch, jump on and discuss with those Patreon folks, probably from the house, about how our first ever Patreon meeting went. And answer your real question, Jamie, put it up there because I think I missed it, and I'll do my best if I can really quick. But I want to get to that longevity of the Scaleless project because that is a really good question, 21st century. And the simple answer is I don't know. And yes, I am JK15 for now, but we are working on changing that. I've got a date in mind. It's a little ways down the road to no longer do that. It's going to be time. I'll be able to have 25 years counted. It'll be time. But the longevity of the Scaleless project, I will feel a lot better, when I see a full-blown scaleless female on eggs. That hasn't happened yet. What's got me still in it is I think the reason from what from talking to people is it's just taking longer. And the females are going to take longer because a full scaleless goes into shed so much more frequently. Ball pythons being shy eaters, they don't shed well or they don't eat well when they're in shed. So it's taking a lot longer to get the females there. I think it is going to be doable. I mean, we shall see. I think outcrossing will be important because you got to remember all the scaleless came in from 2 wild-caught individuals, I believe, or 1 wild-caught individual. So you have 1 wild-caught individual you're producing, and we're all just breeding back. It's not. You've got to do some outcrossing. So we bought 1 scaleless head. We've paired that to several things to bring in our own. Now we will have to do some father to daughter breeding, I guess, and then we'll go through there. And so it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. And if you've invested quite a bit of money in it, I mean, you're taking some risk. I'll be blunt. But the risk may pay off. I'm not saying it's dead. I'm obviously still in it. I'm raising up females to produce full scaleless. I'm in it because of the beauty of the animals I can make. I understand that if it comes out that it's not viable to breed full-blown scaleless females, it's going to be very similar to the Desert Project, where they're not viable, so you end up selling high-end pets, but they won't be the same. And I'm okay with that. Obviously, I'd rather it prove viable. I mean, that's going to be better for me from a business standpoint. But there are some projects I want to see to the end anyway. So I am in it to win it. But I personally think that long-term viable is going to prove out to be good. But I don't know for sure. I don't truly have that answer. It's just looking at all the other scaleless animals out there, they've been able to breed without instance. So why not these? I mean, corns can do it. Rat snakes can do it. Rattlesnakes can do it. No, they have live young, so it's a little different than passing eggs. But I know the thought process, you see that seam running down a scaleless ball python's going to blow open and all. I heard that shit's not going to happen. Okay, like it's they all have an embryonic fissure. So, oh, good. I'm glad I answered it. I didn't realize. Perfect. So anyway, hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed. I'm in the same boat, man. I didn't invest a ton. Like I say, I invested in one snake, but I mean, it wasn't a cheap snake. We invested in that project, not one of those at $10,000 or $15,000, but it is one of the snakes I did spend a 4-digit on. So I do have an interest in it working out. Now that being said, let's say it doesn't work out. Truth be told, I'm still okay with my purchase because I knew the risk. I knew there was a gamble on a new gene. I also have made enough scale sets and sold enough of them that I've already earned that initial input back and made money off of it. So it's not like I'm going to get hurt. I just wouldn't make as much. So I'm okay either way. But obviously I want it to work because of that. Now I do know people who have hatched full scaleless. I've heard mixed results sometimes, but we'll see. Sometimes it's one of those things. So you got a 1.1 full scaleless. That is awesome. We're at 49 Lakers. But all right, guys, here's what I'm going to do now. We've been at this for 21 minutes. Like I say, my wife texted me and said lunch is ready. I didn't get this fat by missing meals. So I'm going to run over there. I believe she made tacos, one of my favorites. Anyway, have that lunch, and then I'll probably hop on. I'm going to try to talk her into hopping on with me for a while. And I want to discuss with you Patreon members, for those of you that went to the event, what you liked, what went well. Now you've had some time to kind of digest it and think about it. Tell you guys that weren't there about it. Tell you what the wife and I talked about on the drive home, to try to do some things and run some of that by you so you have an understanding where I want to take this in the future, because it's going to be very important, I believe, to get that off of just the online community, make it a physical community, and, I mean, we're going to do some awesome stuff together. I hope. So I've got some big plans. It's going to take a while to implement all of them. And for those of you that aren't on Patreon, think about it, because we're going to change how things are done. I'm telling you now, we are going to do our damnedest, but we can't do it ourselves. It's going to be a group effort. I am in Manhattan, Kansas, is where I am located. Beautiful Manhattan, Kansas, which one of my members sent me a song that starts with about not raising a baby in Kansas. But it's awesome town. Awesome town. All right, guys, let me hop off of here. Go get those tacos. Patreon, I will see you whenever I am done eating. Or maybe we'll do it during lunch. I don't know. But I'll shout out on Discord before I do it so you guys will know it's coming. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the snakes. Pretty awesome stuff. But we will jump. Let me get to this one question first. I see it's eating question. It says, my first time male still hasn't eaten since February 28. Any tips on try different prey? Nothing has worked. He's gone from 772 to 702. So we've lost about a 10% body weight. That's starting to get to be a little bit of a loss. Nothing too crazy. If his body condition is good, I wouldn't freak out just yet. If you're pairing him, stop. Don't pair him anymore. Give him a few weeks. Do a full clean on his snake cage. Like dump everything, clean it all out, disinfect, start with fresh litter, the whole 9 yards. And then go with a small item like, I would say, which I know you say you change prey, but change prey size. And go with something so small that you can leave it. Right? I know people say, don't leave food in your ball python. Don't leave a rat in with your ball python. It'll fuck your snake up. So don't do that. They're right. But if you can take like a hopper mouse that can't do any damage, or like a rat, fuzzy, his eyes aren't open yet, you can leave that in, right? So put that in, leave it in for a few days, and see if it doesn't take it. It very well may. I have used that trick multiple times to great success. So that is something to try. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. And Chris, I'm glad you just started watching the channel, man. Go back, get some backlog, check out the Patreon, check out everything. It's good stuff. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you one more thing why you should check out Patreon. Watch this. Stay put. I got something to show you. Stay put for this 1 second for me. Oh, where are you at? So, reason is for something like this. We just sold this on Patreon. I believe this is the one I have to double check. There's 2 of them sitting there. And it is not just what it seems. It's a fire bee. It's also 100% het for TSK Xanthic. So you know what a female like this goes for right now. We just sold it shipped at $400. Because we do a monthly special on Patreon. We have fun with it. So that is another reason to be there, because if you're not there, you're going to miss special deals like that. Not to mention a lot of this kind of stuff here we do for charity. So we actually do a lot of good in our community and in our world, which is pretty awesome. Don't bite me. So there you go. That's the kind of thing that happens. Another reason to be there. All right, guys, I am going to hop up off of here. We'll catch you guys all next time.